Good evening, one and all. This is David Daniels, aka the Shy Man. I'm jumped on a little bit early just to give time for Facebook to do its thing, build up an audience. So if anyone jumps on it early, say hello. So this is part three of my You series, which is basically focusing on yourselves. This year has really been one of my most significant years um, for a whole heap of reasons, but mainly because I've taken action. I've taken action on something that used to be my number one fear, which was speaking. And because I've taken action, so many things have happened this year which wasn't set in my goals. Hey Tracy, thanks for jumping on board. How are you? It's been a long time. I've attracted people like Tracy who've really helped me and supported me. 4 or 5 months ago, I didn't even know Tracy, and Tracy's doing great things, doing a lot of mentoring work. I know she does work with the Princess Trust, something I'm looking to possibly do in the future. And I've attracted these people into my life just because I've shared myself, I've been myself, and shared the knowledge, the struggles I've been through on a phone using social media. Social media is something I used to hate, I used to despise, and now I've come to recognize it's a powerful, powerful tool used in the right way. Liam, how you doing, sir? I mean, I work with Liam, but he's helped me out. I did an interview for an internal magazine about my public speaking journey. He interviewed me and helped me to get out there. Again, I did not see that coming at the beginning of the year. It just wasn't even in my plans. So thank you, Liam, for your help, support, and prayers as well. Guys, let me know when it's. Oh yeah, it's 9:30. Cool. We're gonna jump straight into it. So yeah, this is part three of the U series. Probably going to be the final part of the series. Next week, if I'm about next week, I really want to do a video on reflections on this year. It's really been a breakthrough year for me. But I'm really energized about this one. Forgive me, I've got a little bit of a cold at the moment. I'm fighting it off. I really am passionate about this subject I'm talking to you guys about. I've had a lot of thoughts over the last few days, a lot of steps I've taken, and I really want to impart something on you guys, and it's to basically invest in yourself. A lot of you will be doing this yourself, or you know friends or acquaintances who will be thinking about gym memberships. New year, going to pig out a Christmas and whatever, then going to step it up for the new year, and that's going to involve gym membership. There's nothing wrong with that. I've been part of that myself in the past, but I really want you guys to think about taking that, almost like taking out a gym membership for your brain. And what I mean by that, I mean investing in bettering your brain, bettering your knowledge. I'm talking about using money, I'm talking about time, both money and time. So I want to really talk about a number of ways you can do this. And I've done this in several videos before, but I've changed. I've changed in the last few months. So even if I'm talking about the same things, it's different because I'm in a different place. I'm ready to step into being great. I'm ready to step into being great. God calls all of us to be great. God doesn't call us to be average. And it's taken me a long time. I'm 37 years old. In my eyes, it's been a long time to come to that realization. You know, like some people start from here, some people start from here, depending on like parental background. Uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Background, environment. That's the word. I've kind of felt like I started a bit down here because of my shyness and all the rest of it, not having a father and what have you. But I feel like now I've come up here and I'm ready just to go, or just reach for the stars, reach for the stars. But there's some things I need to do, even with the self-development I've had, even with my faith and reading my Bible and praying to God. There's further things that I need to do to break the cycle of the way my brain thinks. So I'm just going to grab some water, forgive me. So, what are some of the things you can do? What do I mean by investing in your brain? I mean, like I say, taking time out, spending money on yourself. Yeah, some people think nothing to take out a loan £10,000, £20,000 on a car, on self improvements, on extension. How many of you have ever thought about taking £10,000 loan out on yourself? And I'm not talking about having plastic surgery. I'm talking about plastic surgery for the mind. Changing your mindset. Changing your mindset. How many of you have ever even thought about taking out a loan to develop that in between our two ears, the brain? Now, some of you may thought, I've never thought about that because I've never thought about it. It's just I wasn't taught to think that way. Some may think, well, I'm not going to see any results if I spend £10,000 on a car, if I spend £10,000 on a home extension, if I spend £10,000 on DIY, I can see the results. I can see the results there and there. Whereas if I spend £10,000 on my mind, whatever that means, David, where's the results? Where am I going to see the results? So, excuse me, in everything that we do, whether it's learning theory or doing things, unless you back it up with action, doesn't mean a thing at all. Yeah, I can talk a good game about most things. People come across me and think, oh, he speaks so eloquent, and he knows what he's talking about, and I can talk a good game. But whereas I've fallen short is I haven't taken action. So I can do all the talking in the world, but if I don't follow up with action, then it means nothing. It just means I sound good, but I never get anything done. Where if someone takes action and they perhaps haven't got the theory side of things, perhaps if they're not adequately spoken, they can get better. And I've really taken that approach to my Facebook Lives. You watched my first few Facebook Lives till now, and how I've grown, how I've become accustomed to the software, how I've become accustomed to my message, how I've been built up by people along the way, encouraging me, giving me feedback. And I say this, I haven't had any public speaking training to date. None whatsoever. And right now, if I am going to do some training, there are areas I can improve. So I've noticed last few weeks, so my eye contact could be improved on. I want to try and remove the as much as possible. There's things I can work on, and if I am going to take to the stage and do the whole public speaking on stage thing, there's things like how do you make eye contact with the whole audience. There's things there that I can take to improve on. But if I'm going to do that training, I'm going to think very carefully about who I do that with, because I don't want to. There's a balance to be had. I don't want to take off the edge of my natural, how I just do it naturally. I don't want to become too conform to following the system, or following, you got to do this PowerPoint slides, do that PowerPoint slides. If I'm honest with you, if it was coming to choosing training and losing what I've brought right now, I'd rather not do the training, because I don't want to lose that, and I know what my personality is like. I like systems, I like processes. So I'm just going to grab another water. Hey Louise, thanks for jumping on board. Sorry, I'm struggling with fighting off a cold sore throat at the moment. So yeah, whatever you do, unless you back it up with action, it doesn't mean anything. But of course, if you're going to be a doctor, it's wise, it's legal to get the training first and then take the action. So when I'm talking about investing in the mind, say just use £10,000. What can you do with £10,000? You can read some books. For me, it all starts with the Bible, and the greatest book in terms of self-development for me in the Bible is the book of Proverbs. For me, that's where 95 to 99% of all the self-development you hear, all the public speakers, all the stuff they say, the motivational speakers, you can link it all back to that book, if not somewhere else in the Bible. So that's where it starts for me. But other self-development books, there's the more well-known ones. The first self-development book that was given to me just before I turned 18 was called The Magic of Thinking Big. And I was not a big thinker at that time. If I read that book again now, completely different to when I was 18. And I've read tons of other books in the past. Hi, complete. Thanks for joining. So books are a great thing. Warren Buffett, mo- the the world's most renowned investor. This guy reads 4 to 6 hours a day. 4 to 6 hours a day. If anyone, I challenge anyone who reads 4 to 6 hours a day for a year, you will not be the same person. Obviously, it depends on what you read, but you will not be the same person as you was a year ago. He reads 4 to 6 hours a day. That's just for me, it's mind blowing. I'd love to be in that. I'm working to be in that place where because I love reading books, and every time I see someone produce a book, I like is adding it to my Amazon wish list, and then I go through stages of buying books, but never making the time to read them. Should I say? I'd love to spend that time reading all different types of books. I love autobiographies. I love business books. So many books. So that's one thing you can do. Read some different things that people haven't been educated to talk about is about getting a coach. Getting a coach. What do I mean by that? I'm not talking about a sports coach. I'm talking about someone who can help you. There's different types of coaches. There's life coaches. There's business coaches. And in my background and my upbringing, I think it's the same for a lot of people. My generation was told that coaches are for is a bit airy fairy, is a bit out there, whatever. But this needs to change. This needs to change. And I've been speaking with a few coaches. I spoke with a few coaches over this year, a few like half an hour introductory courses. But one of my goals for next year is to adopt a coach who can take an external look at me and can also educate me to build systems. One of the coaches I spoke to recently, he said, because I told him about all my dreams and my goals, and I've got a lot of dreams and goals, big dreams and goals, and he said that this is all achievable if you've got the right systems, if you've got I can help you to have to widen to expand your capacity. That's what he said. To expand your capacity so you can do more. And this is what you see the Richard Branson's, all those Bill Gates who have their own foundations and things like that. They're able to do most of the things that they want to do because they expand their capacity and they work with the teams as well. So a link to having a coach is a mastermind group. So what's a mastermind group? It's just a group of like-minded people who come together and just put their minds together. So if you've got a problem, if you've got a situation, if you want to get from A to B, you will have maybe 12, 13 people, all their minds, all their knowledge, all their experience pouring into your situation. Pouring into your situation, and then you can give your experience, your value. And I've experienced this by accident when I joined a speakers program to order to get more speakers gigs. I was with 20 other speakers coaches, business people, and we had a group on WhatsApp, and it was just incredible. It was priceless. It was priceless. And now I'm officially in a new mastermind group with my brothers and sisters. I've got a lot of siblings who are quite entrepreneurial, like myself, and we've been talking about doing things but haven't been doing them. So now each person has been given one action to take away, and then we're going to come together, whether it's physically, whether it's via Skype. So it doesn't have to be pains. It could be family and friends. It got to be. It needs to be like-minded people, people who want to go to where you want to go. You don't want any negativity. You don't want any people getting jealous of you trying to move forward and trying to drag you back. So a mastermind group is a great way of it's support, it's motivation, it's encouragement, it's accountability, but not accountability that if you don't do it, they're gonna beat up on you. Is sometimes we'll do things to not let others down more than we do ourselves. So I already joined. That's literally of this Sunday. The mastermind group has started, the Daniels Family Mastermind Group. But I may be open to other ones. So I'm on the approach for looking for a coach. I'm pretty much, I think I'm there with choosing one, and it could be just for a season of time, just like Andy Murray. He's worked with 5 or 6 different coaches because he's progressed. As he progressed, he's needed different things. And as someone said, I think it was Harry Singer. He did a live Facebook live with Joanne Langford, and he just said, "Well, how do you find the right coach? Whatever, just choose one." Just use your gut interest. Just choose one and just go with it. It's like a relationship. Just invest in that relationship. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. And this is kind of where I'm having to change my mindset because I want the perfect coach. There must be just that one coach, and I'll research and look for everyone. I've kind of got a gut feeling who I've got one. I had a kind of good vibe, and I'm just going to go with that person, and then I'm just going to see how it works out. So for me, I need to do that because I need for me to step into being great. There's things I've got to change about myself. There's observations that I need to make about myself, and I need to develop systems. I need someone who's been there and done that, and that can help me because it's going to save me time. It's going to make me a better person, and it's going to allow me to help more people. What else can you do? You can go to events. You can go to self development events. You can go to great websites called meetup.com, where you can find like minded people with similar interests, or you can start one up yourself. Guys, thank you for the comments. I will jump on them. I'm just kind of in my flow at the moment. You can go to events, meet with like minded people, network with them, and make connections. Make connections. I've made so many connections this year that I never saw coming. It's led me to one thing after this, after that. So for me doing these Facebook Lives, I think that this is my 72nd Facebook Lives. From doing these and people supporting me, I've ended up being on 2 radio shows. I've done a podcast, and many more doors have opened. Have opened for me. I never saw that coming. Never saw it all coming when I started out this year. Or should I say, into the year. What you need to be wary of is just going to these events, getting your high, and then not taking action. It all comes back to taking action, and then you go down, and then you go to another one, you get your high, and then you don't take any action. It happens in church sometimes. You go to church, you hear a good preach, you hear a good sermon. Yes, I'm going to do that. You feel on top of the world. Then you go into the week, and then you just slowly head back to where you were. And that's why in most churches they will have things called house groups. We call them connect groups, where you have people coming together to connect, to share life with one another. You need that. You need that. Because to break a habit, you need to do something different. Otherwise your body, your brain will just go into autopilot. You need to tell your brain where it wants to go. You need to actively be doing things to support that thought, to keep that thought going. Now, I've been talking about taking that £10,000 loan, what have you, and for some of you may not have thought about things that way, but if you were to invest that sum of money on different coaching programs, you will not be the same person. You will not be the same person. And kind of my rewiring of the brain is starting to think about, well, should I be investing more in myself? Should I be investing more in myself? And having that faith that with the action that I've already been taking and taking more action, I'm gonna be in a higher place than I was before. When you go higher, Jovan Lundqvist said this as well. It's like when you go up in a mountain, say you're climbing Everest, the air changes, it becomes thinner, it becomes different, and it's the same thing in life. When you go up, your circle of friends, your circle of contacts, he said it will reduce. It becomes a much closer, tighter, knit circle of friends. Just because, for a number of reasons, some of them won't understand what you're doing, some of them will be jealous, blah, blah, blah. But you change as a person, and your circle of friends will inevitably change as well. So pick your friends, pick your coach, pick your accountability group, pick them wisely. Pick them wisely. Ooh. Now, some of you are thinking, yeah, he's all right talking about £10,000. I haven't got £10,000. Blah, blah, blah. What do I do? What do I do? In this day and age, this is the perfect time for you. This is the perfect time. There's never been a better time as this, because, yeah, books, we all know you can get books from the library, but YouTube is fantastic. I've learnt so much from watching things on YouTube. One person I want to recommend, whose name escapes me right now, Evan, that's it, Evan Carmichael. Guys, check out Evan Carmichael. He does many videos on YouTube, but one he does is he gets 10 aspects of success from well-known people, and he puts them all. So, for example, you've got Beyonce, 10 Rules of Success, and it'd be snippets from different interviews, different things she's done, where she talks about how she's become successful, what she's done. And he's done loads of these videos. You'll find someone on there that you know. He's got Will Smith, got President Barack Obama. Uh, there's so many people. You'll find someone, and if you start watching these, hey Terence, how you doing, man? All the way from America. Thank you, my brother, for jumping on board. If you start watching these videos, you'll see that these people are just ordinary people, but they've got different mindsets, and you'll see there's similar mindsets that these people have. Just watch. Just spend an hour. That's another thing you do. Set some time. Be intentional about it. Set an hour every day to work on yourself, to work on your brain. Watch some of Evan's videos for an hour. And that's free. That's free. Don't underestimate the value of something that's being given to you for free. I watched one. Well, I've saved one actually about Oprah Winfrey. He does a little introduction on all of them. This is the thing with these people. Another thing you'll learn that a lot of these people being successful is in their eyes, because success means different things to different people, is that they've been through some hard stuff. So Oprah Winfrey, I read her little thing. She was raped at 9. Something else happened to her. And now Oprah Winfrey is the only black billionaire, and she's female. Yeah. I use her color of skin, not to be political or anything, but just to, there's a mindset thing in there. Yeah, most of the world's billionaires are white, and there's reasons you can get into that. You can go to slavery and all the rest of it. I'm not going to do that today. But she's the first black female as well. Throw that in, billionaire. Yeah, and look at where she came from. And I thought to myself, wouldn't it be great for my struggles, my kind of stories, and how I kind of turn around? Wouldn't it be great for me to go on Oprah and share my story? But I said to myself, David, why do you want to go on Oprah? This is the other thing you need to work on. First step in investing in yourself, figure out your why. Please, 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 if you're going to do anything else, figure out why are you doing this? Why are you in the job that you in? Because it pays the bills. Is that what you want? Question yourself. Break it down. Why do I want to be an Oprah Winfrey? And at the moment, why? Why do I want to be? Yeah, because she's Oprah. She's got the show. But is it just for my own vanity? What is gonna come out of it? If it's to inspire other people, to show other people to reach out to people who are shy, then that's different. If I'm just doing it for my own vanity, just to say I've been an Oprah, then for me, I'm just talking about myself. There's no point. We've got to be intentional with our time. Terence has said there's only 9 black billionaires in the world and 2 are Americans. So thank you for educating me on that. Oprah is one of them. The reason I'm talking about money, because we all have a mindset around money. Some of us will think we will never be able to earn the money that Oprah has. And we're right, because we've put that self-limiting belief on ourselves, or it's been given up. All the things, money doesn't grow in trees, blah, blah, you can't have this, you can't have that. Yeah, money is one of those things. There's nobody that really sits on the fence, but everyone has an opinion on it. If they can earn it, how they can earn it, what they're going to do to earn it. So when people are often at this level of wealth, especially if they're self-earned, it's a different mindset. So that's why I'm talking about the financials. So thank you, Terence, for sharing that. Yeah, Oprah Winfrey is a leader. She changes people's opinion. What she does through her TV station and her platform is powerful. It's powerful. And she was raped when she was 9, and amongst other things, I can't remember all the rest of it, all the struggles she's had. So you can go on YouTube and watch her 10 Rules of Success for free, and you can learn from all the struggles she's faced, the struggles she's gone through, and you watch several, and you can start learning off these people. I never had YouTube and that back when I was a teenager, wondering what I was going to do with my life. When I knew I didn't want to work till I was 60, follow that one job generation that it was at the time. You've got Facebook Live. You got not bigging myself out and calling my arrogance. A lot of the stuff I share with you, is stuff that I've read, I've read in the Bible, stuff I've read from self-development books, stuff I've paid for. You can use all of that and cut the amount of time it takes you to get to where you want to. You can check out other brothers like Terence. I'm just saying Terence is on here. Utum, Maris, so many other people doing these Facebook Lives. Tap into them. It's all for free. We're sharing our value for free. Don't underestimate it. Don't underestimate it because it's free. Podcast is a massive one. There's a bit of a boom in podcasts at the moment. Enjoy it. The one I listen to is called the Rising Generation Podcast by a chap called Errol Lawson, where he talks to leaders who are combining faith with business, and that's opened the door to so many connection. And that's the thing with social media as well. These people he's interviewing, once upon a time, I would never have access to them. I'd probably have to write a letter to the office, which would probably been read by the secretary and thrown in the bin. Now most of these people are on social media, so I can send a Facebook Messenger message saying, "Look, I really love your podcast." One of the guys was on there. He's known as the systems guy, Tony Brown, and I was interested into that because I'm into systems. I want to know how I can better my systems, develop my own systems. First minute or so, he says, "I'll home educate my children." Now, one of my goals for next year is to start home educating my children with my wife. So immediately I was attracted to him. So after the podcast interview, I sent him a message, said, "Really like the podcast. I'm looking to home educate my children, and obviously I heard you were home educating. Can you give me any advice? What systems?" Long and short of that, he said, "Yeah, that's great. Let's have a chat." Him and his wife. So whether that comes to pass, I don't know, but that's the power of social media. That access I have to someone like that. Once upon a time ago, it would have been high or nearly impossible. So podcast, check it out. And there'll be a podcast for whatever personality you have, for whatever you want. Just go check it out. And this majority of them are free as well. They're free as well. It's amazing. I still encourage you to go for coaching because that's an investment. That's a one-on-one like relationship for your own unique personality in that. But there's so much that you can get from YouTube, from podcasts, from reading, from Facebook Live, and from all the other ones, Periscope, etc. There's no excuse. There's no excuse. And if you just don't believe that you can't do it because of your circumstances, from your background, watch Evan Carmichael's those people who are doing the 10 Rules of Success. You'll see that a significant amount of them did not come from I'm laughing. What was that saying when you talk about someone, the ears must be burning? Welcome, Errol. I've just been talking about your podcast yet again. I'm a massive fan of your podcast. Errol Lawson's just jumped on there. The guy I was talking about, the Rising Generation podcast, he's the one who does it. And I've been talking about it and he just jumps on board. Look at that. I'm a massive fan of Errol. Please, guys, check out Errol Lawson. Even if you're not into faith or whatever, you will learn something from it. He's done nearly 100 of these podcasts, and I'm just whizzing my way through them. And I've made so many connections. It's changed my life, and he does it for free. And he's a busy guy, so please, guys, check him out. Check out what he's doing. Yeah, that's kind of that's taking me by surprise. I've lost my train of thought now, but that's all good. So yeah, it's blown me away. And yeah, model yourselves on these people. Like I said, that's what I said. The terribles of success. So the guys who you think are super successful, have got it all, had it all made. They've come from somewhere. They've got a story to tell. It hasn't all been easy, and you can learn from them. Read autobiographies as well. So I'm going to jump on the comments now. Let's have a look. So complete. Thank you for your comments. We were created to be whole. Absolutely. So complete the same. Peer coaching works really well. Exchanging knowledge, reciprocal. Okay, I haven't heard of the term peer coaching. I'm going to Google that and have a look at that. Terence really shared his knowledge. And then we've got Errol on. Errol popped on in the end. Thank you guys for jumping aboard. I keep these at 30 minutes. I jumped on a little bit early, so I may go like slightly over because I don't want to take up too much of your valuable time, because the time is the one thing we can't buy. I've tried to look for it. There's one of the things we can't buy. So when there's a lot. That's the thing I'll say with this stuff. There's a lot of information out there, and I'm the kind of person, I want to know it all. I want to take in all the information. I want to know everything, and I'm telling myself that I can't take all the information. So take what I need for now and take action on it. So even yesterday with this Evan Carmichael, I just got into it. I just started watching one after the other. And then that's the great thing about these things as well. So the one with Oprah, I was talking about, I haven't even watched it yet. I've saved it so I can access it a different day. I can do this a different day. I see a lot of Facebook Lives I like. I can save it for a different day. And that's the power in the replay. And to quote one of Errol's interviewees, I can't remember his name, Jonathan, forgive me, I can't remember his surname. He said, this is the first generation. You got to appreciate the times that we're in, especially for people my age who do remember days before the internet. The millennials, they will know nothing better. We're the first generation that are able to leave a digital legacy. So long after I'm gone, someone may happen to stumble across this random seas of wisdom Facebook Live from this man who calls himself the Shy Man. What's all that about? And can watch this, and it could potentially change their life. I don't know. Because this gets recorded, this gets saved down, this will be up on my YouTube channel. That's a legacy, a digital legacy. We're the first generation to do that. So don't underestimate yourself. If any of you are out there that think, no, it's not me, I can't do this because I've been through X, Y, Z, go and speak to someone. Go and find someone. Come and speak to me. There's no reason. There may be the things you need to work for. I haven't got here just by chance or just in the day. I've been through my struggles. I've had to overcome them. So it's just, I'm not an overnight success or whatever that means. So there's things you may need to address. I understand that, but with the right mindset, with the right people around you, with the right attitude. They say your attitude can set your altitude, and I believe that. So for the rest of this year, I'm working on my purpose. I'm working what my vision is, and then next year, I'm ready to go and just step into greatness. Not in an arrogant way, because God has made us all great. Every one of you has got potential in you. Every one of you is here for a reason. Every single one of you. You is on the Facebook Live, your friends, every one of you. You just got to figure out what that is and give yourself permission to go into that, and to step into that. And there's a lot of people that are here willing to help you. So on that note, thank you all for joining. I hope you've enjoyed this little series on focusing on you, because this year's been such a breakthrough year for me. And there's already I've had an opportunity which is just mind blowing, absolutely mind blowing. I can't believe it. And when the time's right, I'll share that with you guys. And the other thing I want to say as well, my story when I first started out was the shy man and my shyness and stuff. That story's changing. That's only one part, a significant part of me, but that story is changing. Some of you know my dad passed away a few weeks ago, preparing for the funeral. He wasn't in my life. I always thought that he left me, and I've recently found out that he didn't actually leave me. He was forced out of the country. So that whole story I've carried with me for 30 odd years wasn't the real story. And part of me going to the funeral is obviously to put him to rest and what have you, but I'm going to find out a whole lot of information. And I've shared some of it. I've done it on one of my events, but that's a whole different story. So if each one of you as well has got a story to share, I'm going to finish on this. Each one of you has got a story to share, and someone will relate to your story. There's someone that will relate to your story. And if you just go out there and just be yourself, whatever way you choose to share it, whether it's blogs, Facebook Live, whatever, you will attract. You will attract someone. So if you don't think you've got anything to give to this world, you don't think you've got all the fancy sayings, you haven't got the education, you've got your story. And if you can't do anything else, get good at sharing your story. Get good at sharing your story. If you're going to do one thing, get good at sharing your story, because it will have an impact on someone's life. And now, thank you for joining. For those of you know, I often do Facebook prayer time on a Sunday. This Sunday is Christmas Day, so I'm either going to do it on a Saturday or on Monday, and it's just me talking to God, sharing my faith. I haven't got all sorted out, so I'm just taking those steps to learn how to be a better Christian, and one day it's by prayer, learn how to pray bigger prayers, and that's why I do the prayer time, is to help me, but also to those people who can't get out, who are stuck indoors for physical or mental reasons, and giving them access to one of the gifts that God has given us, the ability to be able to speak to Him. Complete says Amen, and I've got. I'll leave it to next week in my reflections. I've got some ideas about how I can make that bigger and better. So yeah, look out for the notification, prayer time, send in your requests privately or publicly, and let's talk to God together, with our struggles, our challenges, and with our wins. So on that, I love you, leave you, give you my shy man smile, and I'm out. Take care, God bless. Have a great, fantastic Christmas, and hope you have time of rest, relaxation, and think about how you're going to invest in yourself first. Then you can sort out the gym membership. See you later.